Hello and welcome to Animals Labs. Today we're going to discussion we call the state of the game. We'll introduce a few of the individuals who will be with us. It's more of a podcast style where we discuss and see what we think of Raid Shadow Legends and general questions that have occurred over the course of the last 2 weeks. So I'm here with some of the leadership team from Deuces Wild. Would you each like to introduce yourselves?
Cman, president of Deuces Wild. I started it about 2 years ago, and it's steadily grown into a big cluster clan of seven.
And Gizmo.
Uh, just helping out in the rest of the clans, pretty much.
How long have you been playing?
Going on 6 months here in a couple weeks.
And lastly, Orion.
I am Orion. Uh, I joined the clan this past winter. It was kind of cool. Myself and they kind of brought me into the leadership role. Interesting fact is that both Annie and I are on the exact same day count in game.
Which is slightly perturbing, I think.
That's weird, dude. What the heck?
Okay.
I don't know how to pick you guys.
Yeah. Well, we both realised when we got the sacred shard from the extra 270 day stuff.
No. We realized it right before our Visix pool.
Oh yes, that's right. I knew it was that might be the 270. I remember it being weird, and then oh, here we go.
And I was like, wait, which day are you on? That was so weird. Although I think you actually started a little bit later than I did, but you played daily more often than I did.
Uh,
Because y'all know me and Sunday.
yeah, Sundays are your day of rest. I love it. We should all
Yeah,
take that under account, but
it's nice.
That's why we have movie night now.
yeah. Well, so we're going to ask some questions based on the current state of Raid Shadow Legends. Those of you who may or may not be interested. Let's begin with you, Orion, as we start with you last. What do you think of these new dungeons, both the pot and the rest of the dungeons? And we'll feed off of that. It's supposed to be a free-form chat.
So I'm sure everyone's going to agree. Potion dungeons, thank you. Plarium, thank you. I ran 20 turns or 20 runs of it, got exactly how much I needed for 2 champions versus running 100 and barely having enough for 1 champion. That's like, oh my gosh, thank you. Also saves on silver because of that, because I'm not having to upgrade potions. The other ones, they are a challenge. And y'all all know that I am actually now into the late game of it. The challenge is nice. The gear drops, I didn't expect much, to be honest. I don't. Plarium knows that if the gear drops are too easy, the game becomes too predictable and easy, and we shouldn't expect. Ooh, here's nothing but Lego drops from doing the hardest dungeon on this level or anything like that. So I think the drops aren't as much as we would want, but they're where they probably should be. I'm not going to fault Plarium on it. They're keeping it on track, in my opinion. I haven't actually gone in and done Fire Knight and Ice Golem at 25 yet because I haven't had a need,
Hmm.
but I will, and Rotos will destroy all in Ice Golem. So that's where I am on the dungeons. Cman, I'm gonna hand it off to you about it.
No, I really do like the dungeons, especially the potions. I mean, when you can ascend a champion in one day instead of having to wait a week to go back to getting the same pods or running all 100 runs or something like that. Yeah, that's killer to the game, but that makes it a lot easier to ascend champions. The new dungeons, as far as like dragons and dragons 25 and stuff like that, I like the challenge. Again, I'm a late game player too. I've been playing for 2 years, and no, I wasn't expecting every drop to be a Lego 6-star speed set, this or that. But I think the drops are better than what they were. I mean, I've seen the drops better than what they were. I ran 5 spiders, and 3 of them were 6-star pieces, 2 of which were Lego pieces. So I do think it's a challenge, but I think the drops are good. I think the drops are going to be worth it. It's just you might not get 2 out of 1,000 runs. You might get 50 out of 1,000 runs now. So I'm all for it.
And what about you, Gizmo?
Pretty much the same, honestly, that Cman was saying. I think the dungeons are great for the 25 just because they do give you a higher percent chance of getting, 6-star gear or higher rarities. So I think they do gradually make a change, which is also nice. As for dungeons, yeah, that's probably the best thing about it is just increasing your odds. Makes it a little easier whenever you're doing 100 runs a day or something like that.
Yeah, like I can't say enough about the pot dungeons. Being able to go in and get potentially, I think it's 6 superior pots you can get. That's massive. I confess I was a little bit disappointed with the challenge of the dungeons. Um, I mean, I wasn't expecting them just to have 6-star gear at 25, but these were supposed to be a bit more difficult. I was expecting kind of like hard Doom Tower levels of difficulty, and for me, within 2 hours, I had level 25 auto teams. Yeah, I kind of know what I'm doing, but still, I was expecting a little bit more in the challenge department, I guess.
You don't think that they're challenging enough, really?
Well, I you can see if you go into I think it's in the general announcements, within 2 hours and like 130 energy, I had completely 25, all of them auto. And
Okay, but
Um,
I'm gonna say it. To be fair, um,
keyword.
your account is not an average account.
That's fair.
Out of our 7 clans, Clan 1 being the top one with the most players with the top level champions, top level gear, unless they believe they only need clan boss team and they don't do anything else.
You know who you are.
Our level is actually truly in game. If I actually put my mind to it, I could probably have all of the 25s on farm today.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
for sure.
I just haven't felt the need because I have so many other things to do in the game, which is great. I love the fact that it's one of the reasons I like this game is that every day I actually do separate things or different things every day. And these level 25 dungeons are just an additive to that I can leave on the back burner until until it's really needed from my account.
Yeah,
I can leave it back there.
Well, and that's what's good for this game is it's always evolving too. I mean, yeah, it sounds repetitive. I got to do the grind. I got to do the grind, but there are daily missions or different missions, and now they've got a whole new set of missions to get a different champion. I mean, adding faction wars and Doom Tower, it's just I mean, there's an endless thing that you can do, and you can find that you have that are fun that catches your attention. There's so many different objects in this game to play.
I mean, that's quite a nice segue there. What do you think of this new champion? This new, like, super end game arbiter?
Oh my god.
Dude, he number one, he makes Arbiter look like I don't know, chicken tender.
Yeah, it's Reliquary 10
Still an
for
amazing
those of you.
champion, but the new one, I mean, they brought in a new skill to the game with a new champion that, yes, by the time you get them, you're already at final complete in game, but that just is kind of your trophy and helps simplify everything. The whole point of that champion is to make everything about the game that much easier when you get to that level, because to get to that level, you gotta be really good already.
Yeah, and
Lucky. One of the two.
refer to like the block passive skill as one of the big ones in arena. If you can get this down before Torment, and my question is actually, if you attack with this, does it trigger? He has to go first in your queue obviously with 105 base speed. That's not too bad, but I'm looking 4-turn cooldown, 3-turn cooldown, 100% chance block active skills and block thingy skills. That's pretty strong, and I mean he looks amazing.
And because it's applied before any buff could go out, Tormund doesn't apply his skill to you. This also means Lydia, when you go up against a Lydia comp, doesn't block your res and res her team. It means Molly, who's getting the speed turn or the turn meter boost, isn't getting her turn meter boost. Same thing with Rotos. There's so much that you actually really gain. If you go through your champions, I mean, a lot of us probably take our champions for granted. I mean, come on. Ursa Warcaller, the prime suspect of the arena stall. Her passive will be gone. Huh? Coronar, his passes will be gone. No more counterattack every time you hit him.
So I'll throw this one towards Gizmo. Do you reckon he would have been better if you'd have been able to take the A2? It's obviously, just for those of us, it's decreased defense on the first hit, second hit is weaken, third hit is decreased speed, and fourth hit is block buffs. I've heard like if they had removed the block buffs from that, he would actually be really good in clan boss as well. Do you think that's a problem, or are you still going to use him in clan boss given the choice?
I think he'd still be good in Clan Boss just because he does have the decreased defense and weaken, because it's just one extra buff. And most of the time, if you're running a good clock, you shouldn't be overstepping your limit on the 10 cap.
Mm. Unless, of course, you got the old Vizier in there.
Yeah.
That's cool. I just love how he looks. I've shown him up to the.
Oh, he looks amazing. That's another thing about this game is the actual visuals of the game are amazing. Like in-game visuals, the characters, the way they look. So other than that, that's just an add-on appealing factor to this game is that it's actually visually appealing. It's not just a block game to watch and play.
Okay, then I want to ask each of you, who is your favorite looking character in game?
I'll start this one. Mine is actually Pixanel. If you've ever watched her like running around and using her abilities in the game, that it's just a shame she's such a bad champion because the animations on her are amazing. Even when she's in the dungeon, you can see she leaves like a trail of frost and then swirling frost animations. I honestly can't say enough about it. What about you, Cody?
I don't know. I've never really thought about it. Best looking champ in the game?
Well, then we'll
I
come
can't
back
say that I
around.
have one. Yeah, I don't know.
Think about it while Gizmo answers.
Honestly, the one that's got the most appeal for me is probably Flame Tongue.
Okay, that's
Just
interesting.
just because it's got like so much more. And yes, it's a play on words, but a
Oh,
lot more
Cynthia.
flair.
Cynthia. Yeah, she's pretty. I'm actually going to go almost directly opposite with Annie.
Yeah.
Little Miss Annie. Just gorgeous animations. The twitchiness, the way she moves and everything like that. It's just like it's very off the wall different. But he is tied for me
Yeah.
because I do have him on my other account. Necrit the Great is so fluid, so seamless, and he's so clean. And both of them are undeads because, well, we all know Plarium loves undead.
I wish they would give some love to some of the other factions. You get like 50 different. I think what is it? 57 undead hordes, 42 dark elves, and we have a massive 27 skinwalkers. But hey,
Now, Riho might take the cake if we ever actually see Riho in game.
Yeah, she's
true.
Riho. Like, I mean, she looks amazing, but that kit is someone else.
He could look really good. You notice where I went there.
It's
We, but so like Riho is a little bit different than Cardiel and all the other recent champions. Usually, I saw somebody at the high end of Gold 4 or the bottom end of Plat playing this champ in their comp just to show off.
yeah.
I haven't seen Riho once.
I haven't ran up against one either.
I don't think I've even, in like when the chat scrolls past, I don't think I've seen one either.
Yeah. What do you think her drop chances are?
Well, I mean, she's void, right?
Low.
Yeah. Like, it's probably like maybe less than 1% of the game have her or seen her right now, which is a shame. But then she is really strong. So have you made your pick now, or can we nominate one for you? Because I know who I feel it might be for you.
Godseeker. I like Godseeker. I think she's
Okay.
I mean, her animation in the in-game fights and stuff like that. They're nice. I like the way that she looks as far as out of game. Whenever you're just scrolling through their picture and stuff, she's real detailed, and I like the detail of her and the way she looks. But I love her in-game animation as well.
Yeah, I'll have to get some screenshots of her actually playing because I've not had the privilege of playing with her.
Oh, Godseeker is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful.
Oh yeah,
she's
definitely great.
Yeah, she has the baby version of Cardiel's sword, but it still works. Cardiel is another. I mean, the whole group of these angel/demon champs that they came out with,
Yeah,
beautiful graphics. Don't get me wrong, the Lydia and Queen Evas are still gorgeous champions, but wow, the wings on these guys.
you
I
can't
mean,
really complain, can you?
no. Astralon is like, heh, Bellinor, your wings are cute.
Yeah. Or even just like the way it seems like there's a lot more animation in them in terms of them standing still. If you look at some of the early champions, their
They don't
wing,
move.
yeah, and these have got more animations, more moving in them, like their wings flow. I guess it started with Lydia and those blood red, like kind of opaque wings.
Yeah, yeah. But you see that that's also an issue on their coding is that like when Cardiel and Astralon and Conflicts came out and Sissia, when they died, there it was just them standing, laying on the ground.
Yeah,
They had no death animation, they had no revive animation, they had no just standing there animation. They had movement animation, they had their skill animation, and that was about it.
indeed, indeed. Well, I'm gonna lead us on to. We had a viewer submitted a question in one of the chats earlier. So, state of the game and silver. Let's lead. Who hasn't led yet? Let's go with you, Cman. I know you always have silver though.
Silver, yeah, I stack up silver though, but I run a lot of spider sequel. I went for a lot of spider 20s with 6 star. At this point in the game, there's no reason to 5 star amulet, banner, ring is just not helpful or beneficial to my account at all. So, I mean,
What about you, Gizmo?
I was gonna say, honestly, I can get a decent amount, but I do find that I'm always pretty much just burning through it almost instantaneously the moment I try to do anything with gear.
And you, Orion?
It's horrible. It's life threatening. It's completely manageable if you have the right champions, but without those right champions, what do you do? I mean, I can earn 10 plus million silver in an hour
Mm.
because I could do spider in 30 seconds or less. But I'm one of the minority in that, and the people who really need that silver are the sub accounts, and it's the silver, it's the lack of gear drops, and I think that the gear drops are getting worse and worse sometimes. Um, and it's the time it takes to get those on those lower accounts, and like for Cody, or I mean for C-Man, for Annie, for myself, and even for Gizmo, we start taking for granted our accounts and how well we're able to do because of that. I can earn 10 million an hour. Great. One of our newer clan members has no possible chance of doing that.
Yeah.
No, and that's why when people see my screen or something, I'm saying, "Oh, you got 60 million silver." Well, yeah, but I don't gear every champion that I get this level 16 until I figure out exactly what I'm going to do with them and stuff like that too. I mean, I do hoard silver. I mean, that's
I
what
hate
I
you.
do, and I run a lot of spiders.
I gear up all my champions so fast.
So,
See, I don't.
and I think that's the way that we should look at it. And that's, feedback to these newer players who are lower down is when you get a new shiny, and yeah, you're going to get loads of them. It's, do I need this new shiny right now? Or
Does that gear fit that new shiny?
does it benefit me just to wait a while I farm? And even if you're farming dragon, you can get like 10, 12,000 at minimum a piece, and what you're more beneficial to you to farm until you have like 10, 15 million silver. And yeah, that's a lot, but you farm it until that, and you sell off all of the rubbish gear. And there are a few examples we can probably see in like the lab success stories where you can jury rig a champion and do kind of 5 million on the clan boss, or you can take your time, gain the gear, and rebuild that champion and do 18 million on the clan boss. So I personally, I know a few of us have been at that point where I just got this new champion, I have to build her now, I have to put the gear on her, I have to spend the gems on the masteries. Okay, let's end off on one last question, and I think we'll have something a bit fun. Uh, who is your favorite in-game champion, and why?
I've got to go with my bride. I mean, I use her on all of my comps for the most part, except for Clan Boss. Her skills, revive. It's just she's amazing everywhere. That and she's my fastest champ at the moment too. So I just can't go wrong with her.
And Gizmo?
Honestly, the champ that I like the most is probably going to be my Aniri, because she's just done super amounts once I started adding her into my comps. Just her heals and everything that she pushes through for keeping buffs up just has been absolutely massive.
And Orion?
This is a ridiculously hard topic, because the deeper I go into hard Doom Tower, it can change just because of how hard Doom Tower really is. Um, because I could say Warlord because of his block, active skill cooldown. I could say Rhodos because he's broken and we love how broken he is. I could say Martyr because her toolkit is one of the best in game out of all champions. Um, but I'll go with the champion that I've been fortunate enough to have on both on my two accounts that I play on a daily basis, and that's Bad El Khazar.
Okay.
Number one, aura or 25% crit damage. Number two, while poisons are on the target, 20% increased damage. Number three, continuous heals constantly going out. And number four, the poisons that he puts out. And then number five, he is a pretty good looking champion.
For sure.
So yeah,
Especially for being one of the earlier champions. I mean, as the game's gone on, the champions look better and better, but he's ageless.
Yeah. He's ageless, and his kit they have not duplicated, which I actually kind of like.
I'm glad they didn't duplicate it.
And he's one of those champions that many different gear sets work on, whether it's reflex or relentless or pure speed sets or all kinds of different things. Stalwart gear. He's an amazing all around every component of the game champion. And that's hard to be able to pick one that's every component of the game.
Oh yeah, like if you had to pick one champion, well, actually, my choice might be that one choice for almost everywhere in the game. Um, I thought about an honourable mention, which has to be Marta because what she did for my account. But my favourite champion, you know, obviously I do a lot of helping newer players and going through them. It has to be Seal of the Drakes. I love, I love
The
the
best Lego in game. The best Lego in game, and I will fight you over it.
and that pretty much says it all, right? We'll probably at some point have a conversation on what stun set or relentless set on her, but I just love what her kit brings. You know, every player has the access to this champion that can do stun, AoE, wave control. You know, a a, a revive on the weakest champion. She builds in defense, so she's tanky. A1 brings turn meter control and slow speeds. And then, you know, she looks awesome as well. If you've ever watched her animations and the weapon going, it's just something awesome to behold.
Well, that's something that awesome that Polarium did was make that champion free for everybody. So I mean, you've got a free farmer that's the best Lego in the game. I mean,
Yeah.
nobody can argue about that. So free to play. Here you go.
And they've finally boosted Vizix to be a viable champion in game to go along with her. Combine Vizix and Scylla the Drakes. Number one, I think those two could probably clear all a Nightmare campaign just by themselves. Even the final boss that
My
morning.
I like the new V6, I have to say. My concern is I think she needs to be in lifesteal or at least some kind of regen or
I was
immortal
thinking
sets.
regen here. Regen or a
Yeah,
triple life steal.
yeah,
Triple life steal would do it.
because she basically says hit me, hit me, hit me, and then has no real way of healing herself. You compare her with a healer and she'd be amazing, but yeah, that's just my thoughts on her. I can't. The fact that she was what we call Vault Guardian status, stick her in the vault, never use her, never even look at her.
Hey, she got me Faction War 21 on that. And that's
Hoorah.
why I have Lydia. She's one of
Hoorah.
the reasons.
But now,
Before the nerf or before the buff, the original Vizix got me Faction War 21 with her.
and now you're gonna put her in every. I feel like I want to put Whirlem and Vizix in every single Doomtown run, you know. But hey, on that note, until next time, the state of the game in Deuces Wild. Have a good evening, everyone.
Peace
Y'all
out.
good.